Hi, I'm Jim, and I have clinical depression. That's probably a bit of a shock to those who know me only as a humor writer and a motivational speaker. I've joked that my depression probably started at birth, since my blood type is B negative. And so I remember feeling a dark cloud of sadness that would nearly suffocate me during elementary school. In fact, while walking to the bus stop one day, I saw a huge earth mover that was working on I-94 near my home come thundering down our road. I thought I could step out in front of it, and those 8 feet tall tires would end this sadness. However, the one thing that kept me from taking my own life was knowing if I committed suicide, my parents would kill me. Such is the thinking of someone with mental illness or perhaps a 6-year-old boy. I managed to plod through junior high, probably the source of all our deep-seated psychoses, high school, college, several years as youth pastor, and then as a full-time speaker for children, youth, and adults in camps and conferences and churches. Then my dream job of working at Wesleyan Publishing House. I should have been happy. Lois and I loved our jobs. We had 2 wonderful kids in a Christian school. I was having my books published. I was earning national awards for writing. I was speaking all over the country. In fact, my tagline was actually hope and humor. And yet often, it took all my willpower to simply get out of bed. I got a lot of ministry done, but it felt as if I was carrying this big, black boulder on my back, which seemed to be getting heavier and heavier and heavier. As I would drive past cemeteries, I would think, lucky stiffs. Unfortunately, I got absolutely no help from the church. I was told I should have more faith and quit my stinkin' thinking. And to reinforce that, I was spiritually defective. We sang songs like, I'm so happy and here's the reason why, Jesus took my burdens all away, hey. But I wasn't, and he didn't. And it was so confusing, as I thought I had a great spiritual life. I was an ordained minister, I was serving in a meaningful and productive ministry, and most of all, I felt so close to God in my regular Bible study, prayer, and journaling. And yet my depression was always blamed on me and my lack of faith. Finally, fortunately, after 30 years of truly suffering, a Christian doctor correctly diagnosed me with clinical depression, and that changed my life. He assured me that depression was probably something I was born with, and my clinical depression was a biochemical issue. It was a lack of serotonin and dopamine in my little brain. So after trying 3 or 4 antidepressants, I finally found one that had the least side effects and the most benefits. So I'd like to make a couple encouraging points. First, if you're depressed, you are not alone. 1 in 4 people suffer with clinical depression. So if 3 of your friends aren't depressed, you probably are. And we're in good company too, with Job, King David, the prophets Elijah and Jeremiah, as well as Martin Luther, Charles Spurgeon, C.S. Lewis, and even Mother Teresa. Second, it is a chemical imbalance and has nothing to do with your spirituality. Zip, zero, zilch. It's the result of the fall, just as much as physical suffering and natural disasters. And probably all the positive thoughts and prayers won't relieve it. So to those who tell me just have more faith, I would love to tell them, and you need to have more faith for your diabetes, your blood pressure, and your ED. So there. Yeah, but I'm too nice. I don't. But all of us have a cross to bear. And over the last 30 years, I've not only learned to bear the cross, but to embrace the cross. And here's why. People with clinical depression have been shown in study after study to be more empathetic to other people's needs, to think more deeply, and to be more creative. No wonder most of my author friends, especially the humor writers, are all clinically depressed. So I'm actually grateful for my depression, for making me caring, compassionate, and creative. It's allowed me, as Paul writes, to comfort those with the comfort I myself have received from the God of all comfort. And third, this is most important, there is hope. There's a wide range of antidepressants, and your family doctor can help you find just the right one. However, a quick caveat. Meds are not a cure-all, but they do provide that extra mental strength needed to eat right, exercise, and to think, as Paul writes, on those things that are true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, excellent, and praiseworthy. And there are licensed Christian therapists who can provide hope and help. I certainly needed counseling to shed years and years of guilt and shame heaped on me by previous churches. And I have some resources you might find helpful on my site at jameswatkins.com/mental health. So hi, I'm Jim. I have clinical depression. And I also have hope and joy in Jesus Christ.